And welcome to this video where I want to show you a post-mortem of how we can connect this little guy, HC06, to an Arduino and your phone. That's allowed to make crazy stuff, like during the last hackathon we did an application that allow you to trigger some firework. So, for example, it looks like this. You have some firework and you want to trigger it. So firework, it can be crackers, small firework or big one. Each one has a small fuse that you can trigger by exploding something next to it, by burn it, by putting fire, same here, putting fire with low cost. But to do that, you need to put some electricity on it. When you put some electricity on the circuit, it will burn the fuse. But to do that, you need a relay. If you don't know how it's working, I'm doing a workshop here, so in the link in the description you have plenty of information. But basically you put some voltage here, some small voltage from a Arduino, and here you can have a big one, like here 80 volts with 2 or 3 amp to burn the cable. The stuff is that what we want to learn is this little guy, and this little guy, it's super awesome. So basically you plug it, you put some cable to avoid having 5 volt on 3 volts. It's in the workshop, and it allows you to send information easily on the stuff here. So for me, it took me 1 day to learn it, master it, and do it. But with a good tutorial, you should master it in 2-3 hours max. Basically, it's we just say here to the phone, here, take some string, and based on the string, here you will activate and deactivate some pin on the Arduino. The voltage will go over there and triggers the firework. The fun part, and why I'm studying that, is that between that and that there is no cable. So between my application and this little guy, no cable. So it means that I can control in my game some external hardware to 20 meters, so 40 meters if you go from one side to another. Crazy, huh? And super easily. So what will be this video is talking about this project, explaining a bit what I learned, what I found, the workshop, the tutorial, and look a bit about the code, how we do that. Something that is super cool with this project, but was not that was not the aim at start, is that I can control from my phone with my phone an Arduino, but I can also having several phones and several HC06. So it means that if I want to trigger a firework in this village and this village at the same moment and with a timing that is synchronized, it's possible. So basically what we did to do that is we take the JSON, we store information of when the firework has to be triggered. Poof, it says, this phone, do you have this HC06 with a MAC address? So it's an address that is just for this device. And if he have it, he puts some voltage. The voltage use the battery to burn a cable, and the cable burn up the firework. If you want to look like, if you want to see what it look like, I will show you this video. So up, I will put in high. So here it's a mix of what we presented during the hackathon we did 3 weeks ago, and the final product that we used during the New Year's events. So the next video will be in June, because we cannot use firework without permission, and the only permission that we have as non-professional is during the big festivity. And so I cannot work on it officially. So here we have my phone. My phone is triggering here the component I show you. So phone, Bluetooth HC01, and bam, we have sorry, you don't have the sound, but you have here, I press and it fire a small fuse that is representative of the firework. Ta-da! And so in the inside it looks like this. So I have the Bluetooth components that is talking to the Arduino. The Arduino is sending the electricity here. It's going in the relay, and the relay is triggering a high voltage current to burn a cable like this. So you see, I have here a battery that is here linked to the relay. So boom, voltage. It's going the battery. It burned the cable with the big problem is that you need at least 1 amp of electricity to be able to burn the cable. If you don't know what is an amp or voltage, in the workshop that is a wiki, I've put plenty of information of how to learn about that, because when I restarted the project, I had no clue of how electricity was working again. And so I studied it again, and so you have plenty of tutorial over there. So yeah, so I'm burning the cable, and ta-da! Basically, you can trigger firework behind that. So you can burn a cable like this, or you can light a LED that will trigger something else to burn the cable. You can take, for example, here a small mesh and burn it, or you can use a stick a matchstick. So here, what it look like. So I have just some stuff to keep it near the fuse. I have this device to be able to keep the metal part that will burn on the fuse and the electricity coming. The problem is that it's during the test of the new year, it was really boring because it was falling all the time, and when it was broken, it takes time to replace it. So my next step was to find this solution where you just trigger 2 metal parts. It's allowing me to fuse the firework, but it allows me also to replace it quick if it's broken during the new year, because it's what is really boring is when it's broken, it takes some time. For example, this version, it's super cool and it works really well. So it's a stick with a cable that I'm burning, but to replace it, once again, it takes some time. Look like this. Ta-da! So when you arrive, the big problem is that you are in the dark, so it's super hard to do it. And I use a box that is really a bad idea, because each time I do that, the cable was disconnected. But it looked like this in the final version. So I have a box, I have the Bluetooth, I have the phone in my hand, then here we go. We fire some firework. Ta-da! I could trigger all of them, but as this was the first prototype, I had some difficulty to have all working because of some cable was breaking, some other was falling. So next version I will be able to fire a lot of them. And as you can see, I can trigger several of them, but also it allows me to trigger from a far distance, because I will show you what happens when you are in a close distance. For example, here I was trying to fix something, and up, and basically an accident appeared. So if you were lighting the stuff and it would explode, you would be next to him, so it's super dangerous. It's why I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm doing that to learn the device, but also to fire from a safe distance. And so yeah, basically what bring me to this project? It's this guy. So there is this guy that did a Unity plugin that allow you to communicate between both of them. So if you want to do this project, what you need to do is to buy this asset, this like $20, €20, and that allow you to communicate between the both of them. When you do that, it's crazy. It's crazy good. Basically, my problem with the video he did is this. So he did a small tutorial, but he's not explaining a lot about electricity, about Arduino, about terminal, about application. And so, for example, here you have two mistakes, RTX and TX. If you do this like this, your Arduino will never compile anymore, because when you compile, he need the RX and TX. And so you need to do pop a redirection when you say RX and TX will take this pin, else it will not work. Same for the resistance, it's really low, so it means that it will burn too easily. So in other demo, people are putting high resistance, at least a bit higher. And so yeah, so what did I do? What did I do is that, and you can find it in the description. I did this wiki. So HC06, hello HC06. This is basically a tutorial about everything you need to learn to be able to master this stuff, and to trigger firework. So you have here some version, and on the side here in the index, you have plenty of stuff. Basically, to be able to learn from this tutorial, you need to know a bit about electricity, a bit about Arduino, a bit about how not to die from these experiments, how to use a multimeter, and what is a firework. After that, you have the tutorial step by step that will explain you how to do it. That's a work in progress, because it takes some time, and anyway, if I deliver the workshop now, nobody cares, because it's not the New Year's anymore. So it will be for June. This part will be for June. There is some information, but it's not ready. So the electrical part, if you are a noob, you need at least to learn what is electricity to be able to work with the Arduino and with the burning cable. So you need to know what is an amp, a voltage, a resistance. So basically, really quick, you have a battery that have plenty of electricity that we call electron, that we can make move in the atom of the cable here. And so the idea is that if you have a lot of electron and you have to push the electron, they will be used by the light, and this light will burn them. If it's a small cable, a really small cable that is that don't want to let the electron pass, it will burn, because the electron will move too much the atom, and it will produce some electricity, some joule, that is some heat, and that's why you need to know what is a watt. Voltage is we push the electron. Amp is the number of electrons that is going per second in your cable. Resistance is just if you say to the electron, go in this cable, they will all try to go, and they will burn your cable. So we put some bridge, not some bridge, but some stuff that is avoiding the electricity to go too fast in the circuits. Okay. Then there's plenty of other stuff to learn that is cool, like capacitor and stuff, but that is not used in this project. So basically, an amp is the number of electrons that will pass in your cable, but the amounts. So you can have small amounts, like for the Arduino. You can have big amounts, like for a flashlight. And for us, for burning the cable, we need 2 to 3 amp. That's a super risk, because it can burn your finger easily, burn your cable, and also be dangerous for your health, if you use it not properly. When you have done that, you can learn about some watts, how to explode your components, so burn it, explode it, and stuff like this. How to burn cable, like if you use a live voltage, here what it look like. So it can be dangerous, but it can be fun too. And yeah, what you will have to learn is how to use this formula to be able to master a bit of electricity, and how to recognize a resistance. When you do that, So there is plenty here of tutorial learning you how to do that. You will need to learn Arduino, and the Arduino is this stuff. It's how we can talk with this stuff that we call a microprocessor that has some script here that allow you to control the electricity here. Okay? And how you do that? By learning. And so you need to learn a bit of programming, how we can code. So if this stuff is afraid you should learn it if you want to learn it. And if you don't know all this kind of stuff, you will not be able to do this tutorial. At least you will be able to do it, but not to understand those parts. Okay? Okay. So the relay is super important to learn. So here's some tutorial. Yep. And here. Next step you want to learn is how to not die, because as you can see in Jurassic Park, you can die easily from electricity. Basically, more you have voltage, more you have chance to die from it. But it's not the voltage that is killing you; it's the amp. So the number of electricity that will go in your skin or in your body, and for how many time. So be really, really careful for that. For example, if we look here in this video that's explaining a bit about that, if you have less than 1 amp, it's okay. You will have plenty of problem, but not a lot. But if you have more than 1 amp, like 2 or 3 amp, it starts to be really, really dangerous. And so, yeah. Up. Sorry, I'm a bit... Okay. So, what I want to learn you is how to not die. Like you saw, it's here, dumb way to die. So, there is the electricity, there is the voltage too, because if you have a high voltage, you have also a high ampere. But after 30 amperage, it's become really, really dangerous. So if I take something good to know is that I have buy this kind of battery, okay, to use during the project. And one alkaline battery is not enough, so you need 3 of them. Sorry, 2 seconds. So if you have alkaline battery, that battery that is on the in the supermarket, you need 3 of them that you can put like this. Up, up, ta-da! And don't make this go over there, because except if you want to burn something. And here our cable, because you have 27 volts here. So as you can see, watch out, it's super dangerous. And also there is something that is here in the alkaline batteries, the one on the supermarkets, you have less than 1 amp. So you will not have a lot of damage. But here on this one, that is a lithium battery, like this, you have the capacity to send 2 to 3 amp on the cable. So it's super effective, and it burn anything. It's super fun, but be careful with it, because yeah, it's lithium, so it burn easily. So be gentle with this kind of device. Okay, so there is another way to die, is to be stupid. And is to play with electricity without knowing it. So I've put you some tutorial about how to explode stuff, how to be dangerous, like this guy is doing. Don't do that at home. Don't do it. It's amusing. This guy is totally crazy. He even is putting some alternative current in the It's super fun. That's why I'm taking some time. Don't do that, huh? Where are you? . Ta-da! The frequency of electricity in your... if you do that, I'm not responsible of your data. Okay? So, another way to die is explosion. Don't forget that firework is explosion, so this tutorial is super dangerous. You need to have some water, some sand, and some empty bucket to put on the fire to close it. You have plenty of stuff you can learn of how to be safe and how to not die. So watch those videos if you have time. And I have a problem with the sound. Okay. If you don't, you will become that. You will become someone to laugh at, like this. Putting some firework in the fridge. What will happen? Boom. Or something like, this. You have to be stupid to do that, but don't do that as stupid, okay? There's plenty of way to hurt yourself, and there is some video in those tutorials that's explaining that they are lucky, because there is plenty of way to die like they did. And that's why I put some link of the Darwin Award that is explaining you, okay, here is the guy, he put some firework here, but the firework is pressing there and boom, he is dead. Another one, he was taking the firework like this and playing like, oh, I will remove it at the last time. Pff, no head. Another one, he was looking to the firework when it was launching. Pff, dead. Plenty of way. So be safe. Okay? Be safe. So, on that. If you have learned electricity, Arduino, and how not to die, you want to learn how to use this device. So it's called Use Multimeter. And what is a firework? So if you want to look a bit of what is a firework, I've prepared you plenty of video of what is it, how it's launched and stuff like this. For example, here is firework for professional with a really big one. And here you have two guys that will cut the firework and show you what is in the inside. So for example, to give you a bit of trailer, here he will cut it and show you how it's triggered and how it's working in the inside. Yep. The other one is for the big explosion. For example, here he will explain you, okay, that's professional explosion and how it's working. So basically here it will explode. It will put this big ball in the air and it will be firing that after and fire. You can learn about that. So yeah, cool stuff to learn, really cool video, nice. Here is some video to learn a bit the comparison between each one. Go see the law in your country because a lot of these fireworks are not allowed because it's really regular. During the New Year they will not care except if you burn your house. But yeah, you don't want to burn your house, so learn about it. Ta-da! So when you have learned all that, I suppose that you are now all bored in the video and that you want to see a bit about the coding. So coding. Yep, that code over there. The coding part. So basically, if you have Unity, so Unity is a tool that allow you to make some video game. If you don't know it, go learn about it. There is a tutorial in the workshop. A redirection to Unity. Basically, I have here some interface that allow me to click on 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's the pin I want to activate. So if I press 0 here, it will send it will send the letter A to say A here to say activate me the pin number 4. So on the Arduino we have this script. I don't remember if I told you about this script, so I will summarize it a bit. Sorry. Break. We forgot everything. We make a break. You are here? Okay. What I want to talk about now is the coding part. So we have here a JSON. Okay, the JSON, it looks like this. Mega Christmas edits. it looks like this. So it's a bit unreadable. So we'll go on the viewer, JSON viewer. Up, put the code over here and here. So basically we have a script that is just storing some information, and those information is, okay, what is the ID of this device? It means the stuff that allow me to communicate with him, and the ID is over there. Okay, there is a big problem with this device that you can ask him to connect by name and password, but you can also connect by MAC address. The problem is that I did not find a password for the MAC address, so I can connect to anything just by asking. Super dangerous, but here for the prototype I was not caring about. So here I store the MAC address of every pin I want to communicate with. I store when I want to activate them, so it's relative time, because basically we'll say trigger me the one that's firing everything, or trigger me the one that is firing this one, this one, this one, this one, and the other on the friend field, on your friend's firework launcher. And so here you just have to say, I want to activate, when I say all of them, for example, I want to activate this MAC address and this pin at this time. So for example, here I say activate me the pin 3 on the device here that is considered the one with 4 pin, so just for launching station. Activate me the 3 after 5 seconds of time. Okay, so what I do is that this file is stored online, so every minute I will download the file to allow me to be always synchronized on the other phone. So if you want to change at the last minute, it's not a good idea with my prototype. But if you want to prepare a launching station and then just put when you need, it's pretty cool. So you say, okay, I want to activate those one. Up. So you arrive to the phone part. Yep, here. And so the phone part you can trigger by tapping like this with this device, that is the tap with us. You can type it by using a keyboard, or by clicking on the screen. When you click on the screen, basically what will happen is that here in Unity, it will ask, by clicking on it, it will ask here a script that I call firework HC06 to create, sorry. So it will ask, for example, if I say activate all pin, so everyone, I take all the device that is recorded on the application, and I say, can you trigger this MAC address and the number 0 to 10? Because I have 10 pin max available on a hardware, an Arduino. Sorry, an Arduino. I need to breathe a little bit. So how it's going to do that? It's just because it will take the plugin. So the autoconnect is a script that is coming from the plugin I buy, but that I modify. I give him the MAC address and I say, can you connect me to this device and activate the pin number X? So I will show you that here. So you give the MAC address and say, start to listen to this one. Basically, it will create a Bluetooth device class that will manage the communication between the device and your phone, between the small component and your phone. It will before ask the user to activate Bluetooth if he did not do it. And if you ask to say, set me this pin, it will write a letter. And this letter is based on the pin you are asking. So 0 to 9 and high A, capital A, it means put the voltage. Minus, it means remove the voltage. So we just send a keyboard stroke to this device. And like I show you in the other script, if the guy receive a letter, he will translate that by the pin he has to activate in the real world, because the 0 to 1 is used by the Arduino for plenty of other stuff, so we don't use it. The 1 and the 2 in the code here, I say here is where you can receive and send some information with the keyboard, okay, RX and TX. And here we say, can you listen to it? Poof. All the pin will be able to send voltage and not receive it, because you can use it to receive. Here we want to send, to put some voltage on it. And here we check if there is something new. If there is something new, boom, we activate the voltage. It's as simple as that. And so yeah, but we will say, didn't you show a picture at the start of the stuff saying about there is a problem with the cable? Yes. And so we'll show you that. So this guy is telling us, put your string like this. Up. The problem is that if I put my string like this, as you can see, I have RX and TX that is using RX and TX of the Arduino. That's a bad solution, and I learned it after plenty of tutorial, because there is half of the tutorial that is asking to do that, but each time I do that I have plenty of bugs on my Arduino, and it's because Arduino is not, you are not supposed to use that except if you know what you are doing. And if you want to use this one, you have to not use it, but to redirect it to another pin on the Arduino, the 2 and the 3 for me. And there is a super good tutorial about that. So if you go in my Christmas notes, so it's where I'm storing my research during the hackathon of the Christmas hackathon, you can see that here I have the schema of the really long one that I was using. And then I have one that is called good tutorial here, really good tutorial. The unwatch, I can remove it because I watched it all. And if you look at it, this guy is explaining you that you need a double, you need 2 times more resistance here and 1 here to make a bridge that allows to have less voltage. And you need to put it on another pin. So this tutorial is super cool. I show you a bit of it here. So I will cut the sound because you don't have it anywhere. So the guy will explain you, okay, this is a component that is called HC06. Up. We can put some cable on it like this with something that is already ready to communicate with your device. And you can use the terminal of Arduino IDE to communicate with it. And here he explained how to change the name of the device, the password of it. Me, I did not succeed to do it, but I suppose because I have a cheap one or something like that. After that, she will explain you how to make this bridge. So as you can see, you have here the breadboard with all the cable and the resistance. If you want to have more image, you can go in the album of my hackathon. There is plenty of image of how I did this part. Or go in the tutorial later. Up. So after that, you plug that, you need to make the code, and he explained a bit of it. So if you need a really good tutorial, this one is a really good one. Not a full one, but a good one. And so yeah. So that's what I learned of this project. So what to say more? Except that it was super fun. Oh yeah. You don't need Unity, so here I've used Unity to trigger some firework, but if you don't want to learn about Unity and sending later, there is an application on Android Store that is super cool, that is called Google Play, that is called Electronic, let me check to be sure. It's on the workshop, but I don't want to. Yeah, I will go in the workshop. So in the workshop, it's you go on my website, you go here in hardware and components. Yep, and we have here Bluetooth electronic. Up. And you don't have the link yet, but we'll take the name. Yeah, the workshop is in development. Up. And this is this one. So this tool is super cool. It allows you indeed to, when you press on your key on your phone, to send some letter to the Bluetooth component I show you. So to this stuff. And so like this, you can control the LED, the light of your LED, the color, or plenty of stuff. When you can use the Arduino, it's super cool. For example, I can show you a bit of what I have done. Bureau. So here was what it can look like. So, for example, you take some button, you put it over there. Yep, and you put it like you want. For example, here, if I press on 1, it will light the electricity on the relay immediately. But if I want to put a lot of electricity and not just do tick tick, I have this switch. I click on it and poof, it will send A or minus A. For example, here I will change it. Poof. I remove the previous one. I put mash A, minus A, and mash A. Okay, so now if I click on this one, yep, this code will receive the A here, and bam, it will work. And so it allows you to create your interface quickly, to be able to trigger some Arduino stuff kind of easily through Bluetooth. So if you don't like Unity, you can use this stuff. It's super, super cool. And so here we go. Here we are. I will show you some last stuff, and then I will close this video because it's just a post-mortem I wanted to do to give to the community, but I don't know where I'm going, indeed. Because the next step is to make a workshop before July for people that want to use it, but I have to wait 5 months before I can continue this workshop. Because I cannot test it, and it's not used full to learn to make a video about firework when it's not the firework period. So what I will show you now, it's some photo about the firework I have done. So feel free to come here to check around. So you have plenty, for example here, fun in the danger zone. For people that is still in the video, it's a page where I'm showing some crazy projects that have been done where people are totally crazy, but it's super fun to watch. For example, this one is a Russian guy that will fire a lot of them like a machine gun. This one is a guy that will fire 700 of rockets in the same time, just by triggering all of them with a big explosion, for example. Yep. Up. And you don't have the sound, huh? Don't do that at home. He is totally crazy. He could die indeed, huh, here. Look at that. Super dangerous. He can put fire, he can kill himself, he can... super dangerous. But that's fun in the danger zone. Fun in the danger zone. So yeah, plenty of stuff super cool to learn here. I want to speak a lot, but I don't want to make a huge video. So if you have plenty of questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments or to see me in the Discord. Something I wanted to show you last is the album here. Just to check around if I have some stuff to share with you again. So here, for example, here this is a photo of a first prototype. And as you can see here, it's what you need to do with your components. So that's the team. We were 8 We were 8 in the team making the prototype because we wanted to have a website to control the firework part. So several of them was working on the website, and several of them was working on how to ignite the fuse during the hackathon. Here's the second version. Here's what you need to do with your cable to be able to communicate between the HC and the Arduino. This, I think I need at least 5 or 6 hours to make a workshop correctly with all I've learned, but I will not do it now because plenty of stuff here, plenty of stuff to say. So here, that's kind of one of the last version, or one of the first version. It was small, I don't know, we said small stuff to maintain the mesh, and we burn it with the cable here. It was working well, but to replace it is really hard. So first version was really crap because we have to do that, but each time we have to burn the cable, break it, and burn the I don't know how we said. But yeah. Up here, that was the whole people in the hackathon. Firework, that was the hackathon. Hack Your Christmas. IoT Challenge Samsung Modern Geek. That was the website. The problem is that I don't have a big image of it, but it was just to be able to configure the JSON you saw in the video. Yep. A bit of the team working. Yep. In the next album, it's better because it's the album from the new year. So, what's happened here? Okay, here. So, for example, that was something cool. Is that I use a cable to be able to burn the fuse, but the problem is that the cable is breaking easily. So what I did is that you can see here, I had used 2 cables that I was putting one on another, but the problem is that you need 2 more. You need more power. You need, like, if you need 1 amp for a cable, you need 2 to 3 amps to burn both of them, because they are sharing more surface, and so good idea but bad idea because I need more power. That was another stuff that is cool, is that electricity is going to the fastest way. So here I have put plenty of cable, but technically the electricity is just going, instead of going like this, like I wanted to do, they're going like tuk-tuk. That's logic, but at the first time I was like, oh shit, I didn't know about it. So it's useless to do that. So here is the first prototype with 3 alkaline battery, and like I said, it was not it. I needed 3 to burn the cable and 1 with lithium. First prototype of how to burn stuff, because apparently when you have a long cable, it's really hard to make it burn. And so what I did is a small one, and at the end I observed that the small one like this, is burning really quick, and so it's better to do that. Like you see, up. The fuse is because it's easy to have too much electricity and to burn it. I did not burn this one, but it was someone in the previous hackathon. But it was fun to learn how to replace it. And so, like I said, 3 alkaline is 1 lithium in terms of ampere you can send. Be safe. This small cable from the Arduino will burn so quick, so use more something like croc cable that have a better a bigger cable. Yep, because it's burn, it become really quickly hot. Here it was a way for me to put all the croc on the ground up. And here it's a cool stuff. Indeed, the problem is that you need to have a lot of power with the batteries, so you are sending like 9 volt 2 amp on the relay. But the problem is that if you light 5 fireworks at the same time, it means that the amp have to go on five different circuits, and so you don't have enough power anymore to burn them. So what I did first, it was to put a lot of battery, one in continuous, to be able to have a lot of voltage and sort of a lot of ampere to be able to burn the stuff. But the problem is that if you light one, it burns the cable so quick that the cable can break. And if you light all of them, then it's working, but you need to light all of them, so you don't have this particularity of being able to choose. So how I did that, it was here. I put all the voltage here on this one, and I put some cable that go from relay to relay. And when it's opening, it make a way for the current to move on. And like this, you can have plenty of them, but with one source. But as it was not working, I did not continue in that way for the project. But it was nice to know that we can do that with only one battery. If you want to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, then one battery is just what you need. One lithium battery. Here is some example of how my first try to burn stuff with cable. And here how we can use it. So I use sockets that allow you to put some cable to the stuff. Yep, it allows you to burn the cable. This was a bad solution because the problem is that it makes this length, but to fire the firework you need like this. So I mean a big distance. So the stick here is not a good idea. Up. My working station. So here are some example. I did try to use fire, so to push here to put some gas and to put electricity. I think it could work, but it was really a lot of work for almost nothing, because you burn the stuff, but there is a delay, and so I have to try again with other system, but it's kind of dangerous, I think, for what I want to do. And so here, for example, the box I showed you earlier, I think, of what the project was looking like at the end. So the battery goes here and the burning stuff go over there. And here is, during the final version, what it looked like. So I have a metal stuff that allows me to put the socket here. I put the fuse here and it's burning. Hop. But the problem is that it was breaking a lot and it was really a pain in the ass to replace. So it's why I did a way to easily replace it. If you want to use professional stuff, there is this kind of device that you put electricity on it and it make an explosion here and trigger the firework. It's super effective, but it's each time you use it, you're burning some money. So it's why I was trying to find some other ways than this one. Yep. Here is some other photo of how it was in the inside. For example, here you have the cable and the battery. Really bad idea, because each time I was opening it, it was moving all the cable and it was unplugging for the battery, and it's why in the New Year's I was not able to fire 6 at the same time. Because well, be careful, it burns a lot, not enough to burn the socket, but enough to make some damage on the cable and the stuff like this. Don't forget, it's firework, huh? And here, the big problem of this battery is that, as you can see, it's easy to have a contact between the battery and the crocodile cable. And so it's super dangerous for my part, because it can easily burn stuff around. So it's stuff I have to work on. Yep. The like is because having a metal flexible one near you is super useful for your prototyping. That's a mistake I did. If you do that, the current is going like this, and so it's not burning and so not exploding. So you really need to have some space here to make it like this and to make the ignition over there. So be wary of that. That is the cable I use to burn the fuse, and you can buy it on Amazon or eBay or stuff like this. It's super small. It's like this, but you have 2-3 meter here. It's just what you need. Here's my new way to plug, to be able to easily replace it with some metal part. And that's the super cool stuff, is that you can buy that in any firework store, and that's some stuff that will ignite your firework. You can buy like a cable like this, cut it in small piece, and like this you will have this green part that allow you to make some prototype about triggering. Be worried that even if it's a small one, it will move away for 2-3 meters with some flame, so it's still dangerous inside. Be wary of that. If you don't want to buy that, you can buy firecracker, a lot of firecracker, and you remove the fuse and use it for your prototyping. It was super effective, this both way. Yep. And here you go. And so if you want to learn more about how to use it, how the project is working, or if you have a question, feel free to put them in the description, or to go directly here on the workshop and to put an issue here to ask question. And yeah, I hope this tutorial post-mortem was useful to you. It's not a tutorial in the way that it will be, but not yet. But I needed to make a post-mortem before going to the next project. So I hope you enjoy it. May the code be with you. See you next time. Bye.